Hey YouTubers, Raven here.
Starfire.
And tonight we'll be talking about last night's episode of La Flash!
Season 5, Episode 12, Memorabilia.
Yes. It was so good.
It was a really great
episode. Yes. So, what did you like about it?
I really liked that we just got to see, like, both of the perspectives of, like, Grace and Nora, like, when they were children, and we got to see into, like, those memories, because we didn't know, like, we didn't truly know, like, how it was for her when she was a child, and, like, how Iris was treating her,
Right.
and stuff like that, and so we got to see that in her memories, and, like, it was just, I don't know, I think it showed Iris a lot of things, like, it really opened her eyes up, and, you know, it made her realize that, like, she needed to just, you know, let her be who she was and not, you know, I don't know, like, because she was hesitant to start the paper because she spent so much time there and she wasn't spending enough time with Nora.
Right.
And so Nora resented that because she's like, if I can't see my dad, like, I want to be able to at least see you and spend time with you. And, you know, she would just get mad at her and not, like, be understanding and listen to her and stuff.
Well, that's not what happened.
Yeah. What happened then?
In the dream, or in the memory, whatever, they discovered that was the fake memory.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So it was more of Iris being, like, Iris was being...
It was more her, like...
attentive, and, like, I know you, like, I knew you would come here, and, like, blah, blah, blah,
right.
like, I'm sorry,
yeah.
Let's go home, we can talk about this. Whereas, like, I think the mean version that we saw at first was, like, not only is that what everyone thought she was going to be like, because of how Nora explained it, like, you're such an evil mom, blah, 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 I hate you, and it's like, well, of course she's gonna act like this, because, I mean...
because she's young.
Yeah, and it's like, well, okay, well, of course, and then, you know, we had that fake memory, and it was like, Iris was being a total bitch, and it's like, okay, well, of course she's gonna be like this, because that's how Nora said she was.
Yeah,
that's how we perceive that she was based on what Nora said.
Right.
So we all expected to see that. It's great to find out that that's not true.
Yeah, exactly.
That it was really just a sad, angry, depressed little girl who was just like, I'm gonna take it all out of mom.
Right.
And that's how it manifested. I mean, it's not great that it was a sad, depressed, angry little girl.
No.
But it's good to know that that's why the memories of her past are so clouded. And
I liked, too, that Barry was like, you know, this might be the only time I get to see her this young, or see her at this age, because he's gone. So, you know, he wanted to, like, be there and see her when she was a child.
Yeah. I mean, Nora, in the past, she did mention that in the Hall of Villains, you know, Cicada had a thing, and he was never caught.
Right.
Well, okay. Why was Barry surprised that there was a Hall of Villains? I mean, they were walking around, and he's like, the villains get their own entire hall? It's like, you have the rest of
the
Flash Museum. I mean, come on, that's the rest of Star Labs, and they get one, like, hallway.
Like, seriously, what's wrong with that?
Grow up.
Yeah.
You get the entire thing to yourself. Give them one hallway.
Exactly. Ego. But, yeah, like,
very much so.
You know, and then, I don't know, just, just the fact that even though it was a fake memory, like, Barry's still just his unfailing belief in her that she's always going to be an amazing mom and that she's a good person, and he knows that the future is going to be good for them and everything. Like, I don't know. I just love how much, like, he believes in that.
Yeah.
You know, even though he might not be around for that period of time, like, I don't know, just that unfailing belief that she'll always be good at being a mom or a wife or a person. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really sweet.
You know what the sad thing is, though? Because Elseworlds, or not Elseworlds,
Crisis on Earth.
Yeah, Crisis is happening next season.
Mm-hmm.
It just means that everything on the timetable is moved up, except for Nora's birth.
Yeah.
Because that's I don't know. I want to say it's a fixed point.
It should be.
And I mean, like, if they went to have a kid now, it wouldn't be Nora.
Yeah.
Because Nora was conceived at precisely this moment.
Right.
And if it was anyone born before then, or conceived before then, or after then, it wouldn't be the Nora we know.
Yeah.
But if Nora was an infant when he disappeared in 2024, it's 2019 when he goes missing now.
Well,
she's never conceived.
When was she supposed to be born?
Well, she was an infant. She wasn't even, like, she might have been like 2 or 3 by then.
Okay.
Like, 2019, she's not. Like, she was born 2020.
She wasn't even a concept.
Right. Like, she was born 2 to 3 years before he disappeared. And he disappears in 2024, right?
Yeah.
I think it was 2024.
Yeah, it was.
So, she was born around 2020?
Because, like, when she showed the thing, like, on the paper that said, you know, it was established in 2021, and then it, like, moved to be established in 2019 because Iris was going to do it.
Right.
Like, that means that, you know, it had already been around for 3 years before he vanished.
So it's like, he's not around, so you can't have her. So she's
unless she gets pregnant, like, she realizes she's pregnant when he's already gone missing. I don't know. Like,
and she'd be born in 2020.
I don't know.
2020 seems so far away, but it's next year.
I know. I can't even believe it. It's crazy. I don't want to think about it.
I'm sitting here talking about 2024.
I don't want to think
about
it.
As some far distant future thing.
5 years away.
Right? What?
I don't want to think about it.
No.
Because that means I'll be 5 years older.
We'll be 34.
You'll be 34.
No. I don't even want to think about 2020.
Me either. I don't want to think about another decade almost being over. Like, seriously. 2010 to 2000, you know, whatever.
2020. Yeah. So, technically speaking, she would, unless she was conceived in 2019, and she's like 3 or 4 when he disappears.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I can't see there being any other way. You know, because, I mean, she was around, obviously, when he disappeared. But we just don't know, like, for sure how old she was.
Right. I don't think they ever said how old she was when he disappeared.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming probably about 3 or 4.
Yeah, she doesn't really have any memories of her dad.
And usually you don't start, like...
Memories start forming around 4 or 5.
Yeah. Like, my earliest memory was when I was 4.
My earliest memory is younger than that, but I have special occasions. So...
Well, my first, like, main memory that I remember at 4 years old is when we first went to Disneyland. Like, I don't remember much before that, but I do remember that. So
the memories I have of before I was 4 were me spending time with a grandma that died when I was 5. So
nice.
I guess because I lost her at an early age, I forced myself to remember the things that happened earlier.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think around 3 or 4 is like when you start to remember.
Yep. But yeah, so it's really confusing on when that would happen.
I'm thinking she was probably around like 2 or 3 maybe.
Well, if she's 2, then she's not conceived this year.
Yeah. Maybe 3 then. 3 or 4. Like 4 at the
most, yeah.
So.
Yeah. So it's just really like, what's going on? How are they gonna do this? I mean,
because if she was a newborn, that means that like the whole pregnancy she was without him. And
but she wasn't, because we know that that he knew baby Nora.
Right.
But if that happens next season and he disappears, then and he doesn't come back for a while, more than just the freaking crossover.
Which is probably only going to be the crossover.
But like, this is supposed to be a massive thing, and building up to it for all these years, it should last more than 3 nights.
Yeah, well, CW sucks at that kind of stuff. I mean, look at Supernatural.
I'd rather not.
Although they did bring Michael back in a different way, so I guess I guess I can give them credit.
No. No. But yeah, so I'm just like, I don't. That's where I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I
mean, we're not really gonna know the full extent of like where they're gonna go with it until next season. So we can speculate all we want and go off the theories that we know and stuff, but until we actually like learn more about what they're gonna do with the crossover, we're not gonna fully know.
Yeah, but think about it. Like, when Nora went back in time with Barry, and they met Eobard Wells, and he said, "Oh, Dawn," and she's like, "Nora."
Yeah.
And I think that in that timeline, because I know the future he comes from, like, things happened at this date and whatever, and Barry was older, which would also mean that, like, Iris would have been older when she finally accepted her calling as an editor.
Yeah.
And that's why the paper was started so late in their life. But it was probably why they were older when they had a kid and everything, because they didn't get married until further down the line, because she didn't start working with him as the Flash and become aware of everything, because he only had the guts to tell her once he became the Flash. And if he didn't become the Flash until later in life, then all of this wouldn't have happened until later on in their lives. So if you look at it that way, then
it just makes me like go back to like the early seasons when Iris is still like out of the loop of like knowing he was the Flash, and like she feels that spark and she's like, Barry?
Yeah. That was good.
It was.
She was so mad at him.
I know.
I loved
that
it.
whole timeline was changed.
Mm-hmm.
That kiss, that amazing kiss. Oh, that was erased. So mad.
Anyway. But think about it. Okay. If Nora is supposed to come back in time and change it so that he is able to, like, they figure out a way because she came back, they're able to figure out a way to get him out.
Right.
Then he can have the Tornado Twins instead of Nora. But because he didn't end up having Nora, Nora can't travel back in time and fix the past.
But isn't her name Nora Dawn Allen? Nora Dawn West Allen or something like that?
Mm-mm.
I thought her middle name was like Dawn. Okay.
So like, think about it. If because of the way things happened, and Nora was supposed to be born later in their lives, then, or maybe not Nora, maybe the Tornado Twins, or whatever, right?
Because, I mean, we got so many, like, clues and, like, foreshadow
to the Tornado Twins.
Tornado Twins.
Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking that in a timeline when Nora doesn't exist is when the Tornado Twins exist.
Yeah.
But the timeline keeps changing in that moment when Nora goes back. The moment that she appears in her parents' lives and everything. Because half the time she goes back and half the time she's never born.
Yeah.
So it's like saying that, like, basically, so I'm saying that Nora goes back in time, fixes stuff, doesn't exist, so she can't go back in time. The loop cannot continue.
Yeah.
Because of whatever. So the timeline that's back here, because she never went back, goes on, and then she's born, and then she goes back and fixes it, so then Dawn and Dawn are born. But since Dawn and Dawn are born, Nora's not there to go back in time, so then there's it's a time loop that keeps having to refix itself.
Yep. Time travel is just lovely, isn't it? I mean, we love watching it, but it's a complicated mess.
Yes. As they said in Kim Possible, A Stitch in Time, time travel, a cornucopia of disturbing concepts. I believe that was Ron Stoppable who said it.
Aren't they going to do a new Kim Possible thing?
It's live action.
Everything's live action now.
Even
Teen Titans.
I think the one that's playing Kim Possible is one from the Disney thing, The Descendants. Yeah.
I prefer, okay, I know that the new Titans show is, like, you know, cool and everything, but I still prefer it animated because I think they're adorable as animated characters.
They are. Just not Teen Titans Go. F them.
And I hope that season 6 is actually going to happen and, like, it starts airing because apparently it was supposed to already be airing. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, even if it does air, it wouldn't air there. It would air on the DC streaming service now.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be on Adult Swim.
Yeah, because even Young Justice, when it aired on the DC,
I don't want everything to be on the streaming service. I don't want to pay for another streaming service just to watch something.
Yeah. But Young Justice, when they went to the streaming service, my brothers watched a couple episodes. They got really gory and graphic.
Oh yeah, they said that they were gonna get really dark with season 6 of Teen Titans. Too.
So it would probably have to go there.
It was gonna be on Adult Swim. What it said.
I don't know because if they want to do the same sort of graphics that they're doing on Young Justice, they probably have to put it on their own service.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is on the streaming service, but, like, when I was reading one of the articles, like, the creator of, you know, Teen Titans was all saying that it was going to be darker, and that's why it was going to be on Adult Swim, because they could do more adult themes with it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. But essentially, they're going to, like, be the same and look the same. Just be a little bit older.
Yeah.
So.
Still teens, though.
Yeah.
I would hope. But yeah. So the whole time travel thing. I did like the show as a whole.
I did, yeah.
I
mean, Grace still didn't wake up.
No. Why is everyone named Grace?
I don't know.
Because Nissa's girlfriend
is named Grace. And Cicada's niece is named Grace. Yeah.
And then there's another kid named Grace and something else that I watched last week.
Grace is a common character name in a lot of TV shows. It seems, anyway.
So...
And then at the end, when she was, like, telling Gideon, she's like, they can't know. You know.
Yeah, they can't know that I'm working with Eobard Thawne.
To try to stop Cicada.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm doing it to protect them. Yeah, but it might end up backfiring on you. Yeah. Because a lot of times when you do something like that, that's really big to try to protect somebody that you love and care about, it doesn't go the way you plan.
Yeah, like on Charmed. When Chris came back, he died. But I mean, I do think that this version of Nora is not going to survive.
Yeah.
So, she is going to die. It's just a question of when.
Yeah. And I mean, like, with the way these timelines are always changing and getting messed up on The Flash, like, there's a lot of different things that could happen or not happen. Yeah. You know, regarding her or Barry if he ends up screwing something up again or, you know, whatever. But I mean, anytime you mess with time, something bad is bound to happen.
Definitely.
So even if it's something you didn't plan to happen or could have been prevented, like if you do something differently than the way that it was predicted to happen in the future or the past, then it's going to change everything. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like on Once Upon a Time. Magic always comes with a price.
Yeah.
Time travel always comes with a price.
It does. I mean, Back to the Future, Timeless, as much as they're amazing and I love them, you know, and I mean, on Timeless, most of the time, what they did actually helped and saved history and made it better. It changed it, yes, but it also, you know, would sometimes change it for the better. Not always, but sometimes. And they got to meet people that were heroes to them, which is pretty cool. With Back to the Future, like in the second one, you know, even though it's the future and you can change the future, that's not a fixed point. Like, because he brought him there to help, you know, his kid, it changed the fact that his kid wasn't the one who got in trouble and it was the bad people that got in trouble because he was there to stop it from happening. So, you know, it's just things like that. Any like small thing, even just being there, like your presence can change it. I mean, that's why he was saying, you know, you're going to be the same age as your parents in high school in the 50s, and you're going to run into them. And, you know, that's going to change things. Like, because his mom likes him, it almost makes it so that she doesn't get with his dad and that he doesn't exist. So he has to spend practically the whole movie trying to push his mom towards his dad so that he will exist. Yeah. So, you know, it's things like that. Yeah. That can just alter everything.
Yep.
But yeah.
Cisco finding.
Oh, I know! I was like, oh, is she gonna be a new love interest for him?
Quite possibly. And he also found the twins that he needed, so he can study meta in the same DNA.
And I'm really liking Ralph and Cisco's friendship. I know how people feel about Ralph. I do, but I never disliked him.
I did in the beginning.
I did a little bit in the beginning, yeah, because he was kind of annoying and he wasn't really he didn't really fit in with everybody else. But he's really found his place, and he's actually doing a lot to help them.
Yeah.
So
I think he redeemed himself when Barry was in jail.
Yeah.
And he when he stood up, he stepped up and became the hero of the team. Everything that the Flash would do, he would run and he'd stretch himself over there and do it and get the job done.
He's the elongated man.
But it's just that he found himself there, and then they took it away when he became scared of the mind guy.
Yeah.
And see,
the Thinker.
Yeah, I hated him so much I couldn't even remember his name was the Thinker.
I think we all just kind of blocked out season 4.
Yeah, the last half.
The last half.
Yeah. That entire season was better when Barry wasn't in it. Unfortunately.
I mean, I liked the wedding in the crossover.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the main show.
Yeah.
It was better when Barry was in jail.
And that's terrible to say.
It is.
But it's true.
But yeah, it was a great show tonight. Last night. And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And Nora got a lot of clues into Grace's memories too by being with her.
Right? And why is Grace imagining the cicada's a woman?
I have no idea.
And who the hell's under the mask in her brain?
I don't know.
Is
it supposed to be Cicada? Well, then it's Cicada.
But it's a female.
Oh.
Is it her mom?
I don't know. I just wish that she believed Nora, though. Because they were going to try to help her. She wasn't lying.
Yeah, but if it was that easy, then the season would be over.
It's true.
But
I mean, now that they have more insight and they know more about what to do, they're gonna spend the rest of the time trying to, do that and stop him and wake her up so that he doesn't continue his rampage of metahumans.
Right.
So.
So it I don't know, I just really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really good. And I mean, I don't know. I liked that Iris was like, "Oh, you're not gonna mess with my family, you son of a bitch." I was like, "Yes, badass Iris! I'm so happy. I live for this stuff." It made me so happy that we got to see that. So.
Yeah. Caitlin didn't really do much.
She didn't really do much this episode, no. It was more about, Barry, Iris, and Nora. And it was more of a family episode. It was about the West Allens and Cicada and Grace.
Yeah.
It wasn't... I mean, it was... And, Cisco and Ralph had their parts.
It's because Ralph is searching, even though he's part of the he's part of the group, but... They're not friends.
Yeah.
And he's looking for friendship when, because there's a difference between being friends and having a friendship.
Yeah.
And he's looking for the friendship.
Oh, with Cisco? Yeah.
And so I think that's really cool, and that's a form of family, and so I think that's why. And
I think Cisco's warming up to that. And he's getting to a point where he's like, yeah, I could be your friend, more, have a friendship with you. So.
Yeah. But I think that's why they were able to put it in this episode that was so heavily forced on family, is because because
friendship can be family.
Yeah.
So.
So that's why they were able to put that in there, and why Caitlyn didn't have much, because she wasn't part of this whole family arc.
What did the girl say her name was again? Cisco, the one that Cisco met.
I don't
the bartender.
know. The I don't know.
I can't remember. Camila?
Maybe.
Camilla?
She was cute.
She was adorable. I was like, oh, she's gonna be a so girl.
She's like, I'm a photographer. And you're like, what? Like, why are you doing this? You're like, pictures don't pay the bills. So, like, if Cisco brought her in, she could work for Iris as the photographer for the Central City.
That might be what happened. Yes. Because, I mean, why would she mention that? Why would that be something that was mentioned or cared to be, like, mentioned if it wasn't something that's significant later on?
Right.
Because usually if it's something that's not going to have any significance, they don't mention it. So the fact that she mentioned that she was a photographer probably means that she's going to be using that in the future. So that'd be really cool, because then, like, if her and Cisco get together, then, like, she can work with Iris and she can help them with, like, cases and Team Flash stuff and take pictures of, like, stuff.
I'm so into this idea.
I didn't know where I was going. No, of, like, you know, things like the stuff that Iris goes and investigates, like, she can take the pictures. Right. Or she can take pictures for articles and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just get really excited because, like, I just want Cisco to be happy, and he's been so sad, and he's been depressed, and he's been through a lot lately. And, like, he lost his powers because of, like, the shrapnel from the dagger, or blade or whatever. And
well, he didn't lose them.
Well, it dampened them. Yeah. And, you know, and then he lost Gypsy, and so, you know, and I mean, I loved him and Gypsy, like, don't get me wrong, but it would be nice if he could be with somebody who's from his Earth. Thank you. So, you know, I think this has the potential to be something really nice.
Yeah.
And I just want him to be happy because I like Cisco. He's a cool character, and, you know, like, he does a lot for the team, and I want good things for him.
Yeah. Did you see the look on his face, though, when Barry was like, are you close to finding that cure? We're gonna give it to Cicada. Like, the look on his face.
Oh, Cisco?
Like, it was like, the look on his face was horrified.
Yeah.
And, like, I think it's because Cicada wouldn't have a choice in the matter. And he's making...
And, yeah,
he's
Cisco
making it
wants
so
it
that
to be...
a choice.
Yeah. Well, because Caitlyn convinced him of that.
Yeah.
I mean, they agreed that...
it would always be a choice.
That it would always be a choice. And, I mean, I understand Barry's reasoning for it because, you know, he's upset and, you know, he sees things from a fatherly perspective now because of Nora, and he knows why Cicada feels the way that he does. But at the same time, like, you know, if things change with Grace, or if he, you know, gains some, like, redemption or whatever, like, he should be able to have the choice of...
Yeah, but that's gonna... what he's suggesting isn't
no, I know it isn't giving him a choice. Yeah. But, I mean, you know, and I understand why Barry doesn't want him to have a choice, because he's upset at what he did to Nora, and, you know, but he also understands why Cicada's doing what he's doing, because if he was in his situation, he'd probably do the same thing. Maybe not, I don't know, but he probably would. As a father.
He'd probably do something...
he'd probably do something even more majorly stupid.
But it wouldn't be killing people.
No.
That's not who he is.
But he would take revenge, and he would screw things up to save the people that he loves.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I can understand why Cisco would be bothered by that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand where both of them are coming from. So I'm really interested to know where that's going to go, because, you know, Barry wants to give it to him so he can stop this and make it so that he's not killing all these people. And Cisco's like, yeah, but he should be able to have the choice of whether he wants to or doesn't want to. So.
So yeah, it I don't know which side I'd be on.
Yeah.
Like,
I think in terms of Cicada, I'd probably be on Barry's side, just because, like, yeah, he's doing it because he is upset about what happened to his niece, and he's wanting revenge on everybody that's Meta.
And he knows that at the end, like, that just means killing himself too.
Yeah.
But with the cure, he won't have to.
But then Grace would be losing her uncle.
Yeah, but he doesn't care. All metahumans must die, according to him, and he's a metahuman.
Yeah.
And he's accepted that.
Mm-hmm.
But
he's accepted his fate.
Mm-hmm. But with the possibility of a cure, it's like, well,
yeah,
you don't have to die after all. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say. It was a great episode.
Mm-hmm.
I mainly just enjoyed like the West Ellen stuff,
West Ellen family stuff, and the Cisco stuff.
The Cisco stuff was.
Oh, and okay. I did also really love the ice skating at the beginning. Like,
she's like, "This is the race that determines it all," and she's like, "I can't ice
I don't remember seeing the game night scene though. Where was that at? Was that at the beginning?
No, they've had there wasn't a game night scene this episode.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there was, because
like Iris mentioned it, and then I was seeing GIFs on Tumblr of like the game nights, like where they were playing games,
Scrabble,
and then the ice skating, and so I was like, wait, I don't even remember.
Later on in the episode, when she's talking to Eobard or sending message, she's remembering and being like, it's hard not to, like, it's getting harder and whatever.
Okay.
And she's remembering.
Because I remember, like, another scene in another one where they were doing that. But I don't remember it being in this one.
And she's remembering playing Scrabble and stuff. Okay. But, like, that's what happened in this episode. They didn't have a game night in this episode. It was a memory of one. So those were
probably, like, it was probably the memory of it then that people were making GIFs of, because I was like, where'd that come from? Yeah. But yeah, the ice skating. Because, like, I remember my first time ever ice skating. Like, I only fell 2 times. And, like, I was, you know, kind of bending my knees and leaning forward like Iris told her to do and things like that. And so I didn't fall very much.
Right.
And, you know, I don't know. I just thought it was cute that, like, all of them were ice skating as, like, a family. Even, you know, Sherlock was there. Right. Like, it was funny.
He's like, we don't have Zamboni where I'm from. We all just, when we're all done, we get on our hands and knees and we...
And I mean, even Ralph was like, yeah, my mom was like with a Zamboni operator.
Yeah. Wasn't it? It was Caitlin and was like, I thought you grew up on the ice. She's like, I did. My mom dated a Zamboni driver. Oh.
But yeah, I thought that was nice. I liked that.
Mm-hmm. So by growing up on the ice, he probably meant he got to sit on the dude's lap and drive the Zamboni.
Yeah.
Not actually ice skate.
But he didn't fall.
No.
So they all looked like they were pretty good.
I mean, I've ice skated for
it's fun.
The past couple years. I fell once. I got lucky.
Well, I went to the Modesto Ice recently. And that was my first time going there.
Oh.
And I hadn't skated in like 3 years. I skated in like 3 years.
Right.
So, since the first time I did it. So, I was like hanging on to the sides because I'm like, I don't want to fall.
Right.
It's painful because it's ice. Like, I just don't want to fall.
Yeah.
And I was using one of those, like, those,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so that I didn't have to hold on, and I could just, like, still go out into the middle of the ice and, like, be holding on to that.
Right.
But yeah, it was fun. I just
Mhm.
didn't want to fall, so I was holding on to stuff.
Yeah, I really enjoy it out there. I fell once, and that's because I was on the phone.
Although I think I would prefer ice skating. I mean, I like roller skating, but the last time I went to that roller rink, I fell really hard, and, like, it made me not want to do it again. So, I mean, even though ice is slippery and it still would hurt, like, I think I would rather fall on ice than, like, on concrete.
I don't know.
So, I don't know.
I kind of think I would rather skin myself than cut myself with ice.
Oh, I didn't get cut when I fell. I just got bruises because I fell forward, so I got bruises on my knees.
I fell on my butt.
Yeah, because my friend was like, you know, if you're gonna fall, then, like, you'll fall forward, and it won't, you know, you won't fall backwards.
Yeah. No, I was being stupid.
So she was telling me, she's like, you know, lean forward a little bit so you're not doing the whole, like, off balance and then, like, falling back onto your butt and your back.
Right.
So
I was kind of, like, standing in place and, like, using, like, my weight to kind of, like, spin a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I
like,
lost my footing.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of fell to the side, so I landed on my hip. Yeah. Yeah. I was on the phone with Alex.
Well, I mean, serves you right.
Yeah. I didn't let him know I fell.
Did he hear you fall?
I think I told him I ran into the wall. What happened?
Boom! But yeah, I did like that scene a lot.
Yeah. I like that Iris was the one that helped.
Me too. I'm just excited for, like, what's to come for that, and then just, like, Cisco and, you know, that girl. Yeah. Because Ralph's like, ooh, Tex. Yeah. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Right. Why deny it? It's right on your phone.
So, I think if I keep talking about it, I'm going to repeat everything I said.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that means that until
next time, keep believing in the impossible.